Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another round of Kukurigo Zori's Lessons Learned in Paradise. It's an initiative I've undertaken as a way of expressing myself more and inviting deeper connection with you guys, where I get to tell you what's happening with me right now, what am I going through, what am I learning, and I invite you guys to reflect back your experience, your feedback, your ideas, so that we end up maybe helping each other out in some way with what we're going through. The three things I want to talk about today have to do with control and building a healthy relationship to it, with the contagious nature of courage and how amazing it is when you have a little bit more courage. And then the third one has to do with intuition and taking a more proactive approach to using it in your life. Starting off with the first one, I have a long history of failing to find a healthy dose of control in my life. It had to do with my relationships in the past, and I kind of feel like I resolved that, but then it spread out into other areas of my life. And actually, right before setting off on my Southeast Asia trip, I reached a point where I felt like, oh my God, what the hell am I doing? Because I had like this, like years and years of having like a mission statement, then some specific roles I'm playing in my life, and then having very specific goals and targets in each of those roles. And I would sit down every day with my notebook and like take out specific actions I can take today towards being a better girlfriend, being a better professional, learning new things, da 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 da. And the thing is that there's nothing wrong with that, but the place from which I was doing it was a place of defense. It was like the world is out to get me, and if and people are really good, but the world itself is structured in a way that if you don't hold on tightly to what you believe in and to your values and to what you want to achieve, it's gonna distract you, it's gonna break you down, it's gonna throw you in all of these random directions, and you'll end up failing and suffering. So it was a sort of a fear of failure that was driving me to control things a lot. And when I started off with my trip, I went to the other extreme. So that was basically saying, okay, let's just let it be. Let's just open up to the universe and to everything it wants to do with me. And I'm not going to control anything. I'm just going to drift and enjoy life and let it lead me to the places I need to go to, which is amazing. But it's also not healthy. And the way I've realized it is that recently, a couple of times in my interactions with others, I spotted myself getting irritated where a person, for example, would try to be more controlling and tell me how things are, or a person would try to regulate their expression in a way that they will give me a little bit of the rational perspective and a little bit of the emotional, and like really be conscious about like how are they expressing. And that was really irritating for me. And then eventually I reached this point like a couple of days ago where I felt really restless, and I couldn't understand why I was so restless. And the reason was that somehow I had reached that bottom of like releasing and letting go, where like it's no longer healthy. It helped me to unfreeze the previous control pattern, but now I need to come back to a healthy balance of it. And I feel that very strongly right now, where it's like it's beautiful to be open to the universe and to welcome it, and to open up to all the help and support you can get from people. But it's also important that you know, oh, I'm also aiming for this, and to have a little bit of space to build towards something that you care about. So I feel it was a very important realization for me, just knowing, oh, I have an issue with control, and right now the time has come for me to face that issue and resolve it in some way that I can finally have a healthy approach to it that feels good. That's my first lesson. The second lesson has to do with courage. So I recently met a person that within a very short period of time had made a couple of acts of courage that were like mind-blowing to me. It might seem like small things, each of them separately, but like his whole way of being was about courage. And it was like so interesting, like 'cause it was just from approaching me and talking to me randomly in a coffee shop because he just felt like intuitively there was something um, about my energy that he wanted to connect with me, to like sharing something really deep and personal with me like just a little bit later, because he felt he could help me, and taking the courage to do that with a stranger. And and like we've built this really supportive and helpful relationship in the last couple of days based on that. And it helped me also to take more courage in my own world, like just go out and be completely honest with people when I feel something, and also like be more courageous in my expression. Like for example, we have this small really cozy gathering on Wednesday mornings where we get to play with some people, play some music. And I play the guitar, I play the drum. I'm not, I sing. I'm not good at any of those, but I just go ahead and do it as much as I can and enjoy myself. And there was a woman there with a small boy, and she was listening to us. And at some point, she just walked up to me and she said, "Thank you so much for playing today and inspiring me, because I was a really good singer before, but then something happened to my voice, and in the last 5 years I haven't sung. Although the problem with the voice cleared, it just stuck with me. I couldn't feel like I could sing again. And listening to you now, I feel like I can start singing again. I really want to do that." And when she shared this, I realized, wow, so actually I'm really not good at this. But actually, the fact that I'm not good at it and I'm still doing it um, can help others see, oh, I can do just as well as this, or I can do even better, and encourage them to come forward and do something that they love, that they would otherwise be scared of doing, maybe for one reason or another. So that was like a really inspiring experience for me, to see like the impact of courage on me and on others as well. So that was my second lesson. The third lesson has to do with intuition. And I've noticed that overall in my life, I've had a very reactive approach to intuition, where I would be just like, if some sort of moment I feel like I should do something, doing it or resisting it or whatever, like, but whatever it is, it was always like reactive. I never went proactively towards my intuition. And recently, I I attended the workshop of one of my best friends here, who is really the most amazing intuitive person I've ever met. And what happened in that workshop was that she helped us see the way that we can use our intuition, and the way that we can have a much more proactive approach to it. How does that work? Well, basically, recognizing that intuition works with very subtle, quiet, and firm sort of answers that don't have any reason to them, don't have any explanation to them. They're just like a small voice saying yes or no. And our rational mind usually goes like, oh, there's this perspective, there's that perspective, I'm not sure, maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, maybe that. And so it kind of winds up and winds up and winds up. And the thing is that you can also not only just listen to the intuition when it comes, but ask for it. Like, ask a question of something that's bugging you right now. Close your eyes and just listen to that inner voice that will answer you, and will not be throwing like all these ideas at you, but like just that small, subtle answer of inner voice that tells you yes or no, this or that. And not asking it further, not asking it to explain further, just going with it. And yeah, that was yesterday, for example. I had this question of, should I do a video today? And I tuned in, I was like, no. And today I did the same. I was like, yes, okay, so then I do it. And it's so simple and it's so helpful. Yeah, so those are my 3 lessons learned. I hope you enjoyed them, guys. And I am looking forward to your feedback and your ideas. And I hope you have an amazing day. And I love you all. See you soon.